Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jordan from PictureMonk.com and welcome to episode 48 of the PictureMonk Photography Podcast. This one, if you haven't listened to last week's about the time-lapse part 2, you'll know what's kind of coming up in this episode, but we have a sort of an interview. I don't really would call it an interview with my father-in-law, who's also really big into photography. And so that'll be coming up a little bit later in the podcast, but let's do a little house cleaning with this one, because so I'm looking over my notes here, and so here we go. So first of all, if you are watching the podcast on YouTube, you might be noticing something where I am wearing a coat or a jacket, and that is because the house is kind of weird. The downstairs where I'm at is hotter, or is colder than the upstairs, significantly colder. So trying to figure that whole thing out, but that's why I'm wearing a coat. So it's not just I'm not trying to be cool or something. I'm actually kind of cold. So that's a little bit different. If you're just listening to this on iTunes or whatever, you're not going to really notice. But this part you will notice. So last week I told you guys that I accidentally deleted the video portion of the podcast, and so you think I would learn from my lesson. And so what happened was I recorded the interview with, or I'm just going to call it an interview, but it's quote unquote just two guys talking about photography. I recorded the interview on my camera, had the lights all set up, everything was ready to go. And so I went to record this part, the after part. So I recorded the interview already, and it's you'll hear it in just a second. But I went to go record this section, and I put the same memory card in there. And I scrolled through it on the back of the camera. I was like, maybe I need to check to make sure that what's on this memory card is something that I need to save. I did a really quick scroll through and found, I was like, that's just old stuff. So go ahead and format it. So I formatted the video of me and my father-in-law, Michael. I just formatted that off the card. I looked at it on the computer right when we first got done. I popped it on the computer, and I thought I copied it over already, but I didn't. So yeah, this part you'll be able to see on the podcast. The video part of the interview you won't be able to see. I've tried probably 3 or 4 different programs to try to recover the video. Nothing. I couldn't get it off there. So you think I would learn my lesson, but I didn't. So if you're looking at me for advice on keeping files and organization, you might want to go somewhere else. So yeah, that's a little house cleaning of that. So I actually debated on whether I should tell you guys, but I figured it'd be kind of a funny story. So before the interview, quote unquote the interview, I'm gonna go ahead and run through the news article that I found that's kind of cool, and the listener question, and then we'll come back and do the widget of the week right after the interview. So. And also, if you're watching me on the YouTube video, you may notice me looking off to the left a couple times. And just to be real with you guys, my son is upstairs sleeping, so I'm just trying to he's on the video monitor, so I'm just trying to make sure he's good to go. So if you see me looking over there, that's why. So here we go. We got the news article. Kind of a recent one. It's there was a couple guys that sent a Sony A7S up in a weather balloon to what they're saying is about 91,000 feet up in the air. People have done this a lot. They usually take a GoPro, strap it to a camera, or strap it to a box or something like that, and encase it, and then send it up in a weather balloon. Get cool footage after the camera falls back down to earth and lands somewhere. Well, these guys they took a Sony A7S, which is a pretty expensive camera, and encased it in a really cool box, and it had GPS tracking like they always do, but it was a really, really rugged box, and they sent it up there. So the difference, the reason I like this article is because the quality of the images and the video and stuff are just amazing, because you can only do so much with a GoPro. They're good cameras, which has something to do with the listener question of the week. They're good cameras, but if you send a DSLR or a mirrorless camera in this case up to the stratosphere, I don't know if that's the correct term, but if you send it up there, you're going to get some really cool stuff. So, and they did. So, if you go to picturemonk.com/PMP048, I guarantee you guys are getting sick and tired of me hearing I can't even talk tonight. I bet you guys are getting sick and tired of hearing me say that. But picturemonk.com/PMP048, and you can see the link to the article. You can see the videos. You can see the photos, all that kind of stuff. So go check that out. Really cool stuff. I always like seeing that stuff. I wish I had the nerve to send my stuff up in the sky, but if you actually see on the map where they sent this up, it landed so far away from them. I think it's in California. I believe that's where they were at, and they had to drive a crazy amount of ways to get to just retrieve it. So that's just amazing. So yeah, go check that out. Really cool thing. And the listener question of the week comes from April Wilkerson from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And she says, I just got my first GoPro. Yay. It actually says yay. What accessories should I buy? And I kind of cherry picked this one out of the emails here because just last night, after when I'm recording this on Saturday, just last night I found that my GoPro Hero 3 right here, my GoPro Hero 3 is dead. It's just completely dead. No amount of charging will bring it back. The battery, I think there's something wrong with the battery because it's very hot to the touch when I try to charge it. So it feels like it's just going to blow up at any moment. But my GoPro is dead. So I kind of cherry picked this because now I'm in the market for a new GoPro, and with a new GoPro might come accessories. So the GoPro that I'm going to probably get is the GoPro the GoPro 4 Session. I think that's what it's called. It was released like a year ago, or a little bit less than a year. It's the little round, or the little 1-inch cube. It's a really small GoPro. But the video is pretty decent. The form factor is good. The battery life is better than the Hero 3 that I have. So yeah, I'm probably going to get that one. And with that one comes accessories as well. But if you didn't say what kind of GoPro you got, I'm just assuming you got the normal ones like the Hero 4, black, silver, those kind of things. I would definitely buy a couple mounts. One of the mounts that I have for my GoPro here is the car mount, so you can suction it to like a windshield or glass, a window, that sort of thing. That's a really good one to have. Here is the skeleton case. This case, for those of you who are just listening to the podcast, you've most likely seen it. It's the case that goes around the GoPro, but it doesn't fully encase the whole thing, and it allows for better audio, a better picture because you don't have the waterproof casing plastic in front of the lens. So it allows for better video. So just right off the top of my head, those two accessories I definitely would get. There's actually an accessory I just bought, and I got this tip, sort of, I guess it's a tip, off of a photographer on YouTube. I can't remember his name fully. Thomas Heaton, I think. But he records videos of him going out and photographing different places where he's from. And he bought a selfie stick, so that way he can record himself and not have to hold his arm out, really crazy like that. And so he records himself, and he gets a really good vantage point. You can see more of the surroundings around him. And so I actually did buy a selfie stick. I never thought I would do that, but I did. And so just a couple accessories. If you just go to Amazon and type in GoPro accessories, you really can't go wrong. Just don't get the same thing that you already got. But yeah, you really can't go wrong with a bunch of these little accessories. If depending on what you're doing with the GoPro, you may not need accessories. You may just need the waterproof housing and just go out and have fun. But yeah, that's kind of what I would recommend. First, get to know with playing with the GoPro, and then kind of look into some accessories. But the ones that I showed you are key ones for me at least. So now we're going to get into the video with Mike. Michael Halloran is a good guy. He's a really good guy. They came. My father-in-law and my mother-in-law came down and they visited and they got to see our son for about a week. And so I was like, hey, I've been wanting to do an interview with you for a while, or just talk and sit down with you. So I've been wanting to do that for a while. And so we took 25, 30 minutes and just sat down and just talked about random stuff about photography. So I didn't want to make it a formal interview like, hi, Michael, tell us how you got started and all this kind of, I didn't want to make it like that. I just wanted to be like you guys are sitting there talking with us or listening to us talk and just joining in on the conversation. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and run the video here, or run the audio since I deleted the video. I'm going to go ahead and run the interview here, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side so we can talk about the widget of the week.
Yeah, so we were talking about New York and going to photography, which is
like, do you like that kind of stuff? Like taking
architectural pictures. Yeah, I would love to go to New York as many times as I could, because it's got such famous landscaping. Yeah, buildings, Central Park, historic places, and you could never do that all in a lifetime. Yeah, and I think it's probably like one of the like famous photos that people always take. I can't remember which street it's at, but it's the street where you can see part of the bridge in the background. Oh, Brooklyn Bridge going in.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can see it in the background. Then you got the streets lined up pointing towards that like one pillar of the bridge. Yeah. I always want to get one of those, even though I know like everybody's taking it.
Well, and then night pictures in New York. It would. I mean, that's a whole nother trip. Yeah. I mean, if you're only doing a weekend thing or something. Yeah. I mean, there's from New Jersey side looking over the water into New York and all the lights.
I want to see that.
I mean, that would be.
I've only ever seen. I think that's the better photos. Like I want to go in like the Empire State Building, go up there because I've done that already once. Yeah. And then take a night photo. But I have one like that. Yeah. That like my very first camera, I went out there and I pointed outside the rails, and I took a picture at night. And I thought it was the greatest thing ever, but now I look at it. But I look at it and it's so blurry and.
Well, I mean, it's the first time you ever been up there, right?
First time I've been up there, and I didn't have anything like except a crappy camera, and put it on auto and just click the button to see if I can get a photo.
No, I am.
So yeah, I kind of want to plan it, but I don't think they let you take that stuff up there anymore.
That's something part of the planning. I think they let you take some
like equipment. Tripods and stuff like that. Really?
Yeah,
I think they would.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that in Vegas. Like I want to take a lot of pictures of Vegas, but
yeah, because that's another night photography thing with all the lights. Yeah. Well, I guess you could do Vegas because they have a lot, the desert and the famous landscaping like that, the dam and everything. Yeah. Because that's what's so great about being a landscape photographer.
You take whatever you want
outside. Well, there's just so much. I mean,
it just seems like all the good stuff happens when you're like in a hurry to get somewhere and. That's what happened.
That's a thing.
That's what happened to Sarah and I when we were driving from Vegas to California, and you have to take that long trip all the way through the desert where there's nothing out there. Yeah. And we were driving, and I saw, because out there you can see far, like really far, because there's nothing blocking it. Right. And there was like a cool rainstorm in the back, and I wanted to stop and take a photo, but we had to get back.
And you could see the rainstorm coming.
Yeah. It was a big, huge cloud moving across, and I was like, man, I want to get a photo.
Well, that goes into the book. Rainstorm.
What?
Well, you get a book. I want to get lightning. I'd like to get rainstorm.
Oh, you want to get a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, those kind of things. Because I want to.
You probably need to think about what my dad and I are going to do. I think this time is we're going to take our probably like 25 photos from the year and make a book out of them every year.
Oh, that's great.
And do like 2016 photos and just.
Well, because then you're not in a hurry. If you pick
no. Yeah, if you pick 25, you know which ones they're going to be.
Yeah, they're going to be really great. They're going to be the best you can do, right?
Yeah. So I think that'll be kind of fun to do.
Because if you do the 52-week thing, it's like you get busy with your work.
And then you take a photo of like that up there or something.
Look at this gift card I got. If I put it in something, I can get it.
That was a cool thing that we did. I'm glad we all did that together.
It keeps your skills sharp.
Yeah, I'm glad we did that.
It's a learning.
But you want to do it again.
Especially for me.
You want to do it again possibly, right?
Well, I want to do something like that because I don't take pictures for a living, so I haven't taken many pictures lately, and I get away from my hobby. I want to learn more.
Right.
And just that year I did that is the most I learned in 1 year about photography.
I think that's what everybody says. That's done that sort of thing is.
Yeah.
I mean, they learned a whole lot.
What was impressive to me that time, you did a photo every day.
I could never do that.
Well, not now.
Never again.
When you're a new dad, and plus you got a great full-time job, plus you do your education with photography.
I think if I had to do it, I could probably still do it now, but it wouldn't be taking my camera and taking a photo it would be.
You'd have a lot of kids.
It'd be taking like an Instagram photo every day because I'll always have my camera with me.
Yeah.
My phone with me, so it'd be, and it still would be crappy photos, but it'd still be a photo every day.
Well, you got a good eye for perspective and composition. So.
Well, you do that the same.
I do. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's why we love doing it.
Yeah.
Because you see an image and you're trying to take me. I'm always trying to portray what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
If I'm walking somewhere and I say, "Man, that is beautiful."
That's why you HDR the crap out of it, right?
Well, no, there's some learning. That's true. You can get carried away and not realizing you're saturating things. That's the one thing, right?
Yeah.
They tell you.
Yeah.
Because you can oversaturate really easily and then not realize it if you do it too much.
Yeah.
But,
to each his own. Yeah. Everybody has their own thing.
Yeah.
So
I tried to back it off and I said, that's not real. It's almost black and white. No.
I mean, it's okay to saturate some things, obviously.
Right.
Like, I think a lot of people oversaturate their, like, sunrise, sunset photos.
Yeah.
But I think he's kind of expected on that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think I like taking HDR pictures, especially if the scene dictates it, if you have a lot of dark in an area.
Yeah. And
you can... The only way you can duplicate what you're really seeing sometimes is with HDR because the human eye,
But did you say that you were kind of getting away from that a little bit?
Yeah, because I want to learn some other things.
Okay.
So I'm not doing as much HDR, but I've learned so much about it. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it really serves what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to ask you. Mm-hmm. So we were talking about our skills and taking, when you did your picture, daily picture, 365 days, 365 pictures, what you're feeling, you would repeat too much of the same thing?
Yeah. Or I would try to make something creative out of nothing, and it wasn't creative.
You see all these guys take pictures of old doorknobs.
But that's still cool, though. I mean, depending on... I mean, if I took a picture of like a modern doorknob behind you or something like that, that wouldn't be that big of a deal, but...
I sort of had the joke that on one of my pictures, I called the one the door, followed by the brick.
You were building a house.
No, it was just a red door close up.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like a neat picture, but you didn't... I mean, I thought anybody could take a photograph.
Yeah, but, I mean, again, depending on how you edit it and all that kind of stuff, I mean, it could come out kind of cool. Yeah, it's not going to be gallery worthy or anything.
Well, no, that's what my point was. I was going to ask you, because in the news yesterday, they sold the picture of that potato.
The $1 million potato or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a potato, and it was just a black background. It was $1 million.
Well, people are idiots.
I mean...
the guy who bought that. At least the photo that Peter Lick sold a while back was like for $6-something million or whatever. At least that was actually something.
Well, that's very complicated work of art.
But it was still something. Even people are hating on it, saying it's not a good photo. But but that compared to a potato, Hey, what would you rather have hanging in your house?
Well, I couldn't. I mean, I looked at the picture a little bit what they showed on television,
and it was a potato. I saw the photo.
It had all the roots and everything on the potato.
Well, I mean, I can go get some celery stalks and take a picture of it.
Well, you could probably, that could be one of your 365.
A celery stalk.
Well, I mean, right.
But I'm afraid if for me, if I do that right now, it would be partly like it was last time. Like I would wait till the end of the day and still not have anything, and then walk around my, at that time, apartment. Yeah. Trying to find something, take a picture of blinds or something.
It's no fun then.
No, because you're just trying to fill the spot. Yeah.
But you came up with a good photograph every time.
On the 365 thing?
Yeah.
Have you seen all of them?
Yeah.
I didn't think they were that good.
Well, that's it. The guy taking the photograph.
But that was 4 years ago or 5 years, whatever it was.
The person that's taking the photo knows every wart on that photo. And somebody else can look at it and say, man, that thing is great.
Yeah.
I mean, know everything that goes into that.
Yeah. Like,
so there's photo that you take have you ever taken a perfect photograph?
I've taken one where I've been happy with it.
Yeah.
Like, really happy to where, like, I know that I've taken a photo that I'm really happy with. If at just random points, I pull it up on my computer and just look at it.
Yeah.
Like there's, that I can think of, like 3 photos right now that I would just want to look at sometime.
Well, that's good.
But then there's some that just, like why do I even have this still on my computer?
It's like we were talking about that one spot in the Outer Banks that I keep re-editing the same photo.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like
I do that on purpose.
But you have you have a good photo of it.
Yeah.
And I can't get a good photo of it. But you and I basically took the same photo.
Yeah, and I always take a photo from that spot every time I go there. If I'm there at that sun.
Isn't there a cross next to that spot?
Yeah, it's around the corner. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think I took a photo of that, but there were people in the way, and I don't want to spend the time like cloning them out or something.
Oh no.
But it was an okay photo for like being a silhouette with the background and the.
Actually, a religious publication asked me for the cross one that I took.
Oh.
And that was a compliment.
That's good, yeah. Yeah.
So
was it published?
Yeah, they published it in a small local.
Did you get a copy of it?
No.
Why not?
It was an online thing,
But still, I mean, I got published in a knitting magazine.
Well, that's good.
And I still kept a copy of that.
Well, yeah. I want to get published, though. Big time.
Like, well, everybody wants to get that, I guess. But,
no, I know. But like, if I could take a great picture of the Flatiron Building, we're talking about New York or something, and everybody takes a Flatiron.
Yeah. And I think everybody usually turns it black and white because that's what they see it as.
It's always black and white. Yeah. It's always up,
Yeah. Have you seen the one that I took?
Did you get the Flatiron too? I see the
Empire.
Yeah, that one.
I got a Flatiron on the same trip.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll show you that when we're done here. But
Shutterfly Magazine, you can send your photos in once a month, and they always have a topic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So they just...
And the first prize is, pretty decent.
So is it like a competition then?
Yeah, it's a competition. They'll say this month is silhouette photography.
Oh. Is it like an actual magazine or like an online thing?
Yeah, it's a magazine.
Shutterfly.
Shutterbug.
Shutterbug. Is it Shutterbug? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, I've entered Shutterbug stuff before.
Yeah,
but I've never gotten a magazine or anything, or I've never known it was a magazine. I've always thought it was just.
Well, you'll have to edit this part out because that's the magazine that I got you.
No, I'm saying I didn't know they ran a magazine. I thought it was the way you explained it. I thought it was like a magazine just for the photo submissions.
Oh no! It's a regular publication.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never saw that part in there. Then I guess.
Yeah, no, it's in there every month.
He threw me off with a Shutterfly.
No, see, that's my thing. No, I forget the name. It's Shutter something.
Yeah.
So I sort of go over those things.
I think I entered one of the Shutterbug ones.
Shutterbug.
I thought it was a whole magazine just for that. That's what I took it as, but I guess I was wrong.
No, they just have a page anyway. So I'd like to get one of those just one time. But
have you submitted it?
I've not ever submitted anything that I thought was good enough. And that goes back to the beginning of the conversation. because we know all our warts on all the photographs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I know a lot of photos that I would not even, I don't even want people on Facebook. Like, I know photos like that took 4 years ago, I want to delete from Facebook.
Oh.
You know?
Well, that takes a lot of time.
And again, this kind of goes with, I was talking to you earlier about one of the listeners, Michael Wilson.
Yeah.
Where I was talking about him, so shout out to Michael.
Hey.
But he sent in his photos for his for like a free portfolio review thing. Yeah. And so he said he was like a beginning thing, so I was going over his photos. And so I showed him one of the photos that I took when I first started, and I thought it was the greatest photo ever.
Right.
And I can't even imagine like thinking that is the greatest photo ever.
Now.
Yeah, because it's a horrible photo.
Well, that's a process, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So. And that's what's so great about photography.
Keeps going.
I mean, yeah, you keep getting better, right? It's like the bug.
Yeah. It's kind of bites you every time.
Yeah.
Because I've thought about why am I even taking photos? It's not. Anytime
I take a picture, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's fun to do, like you were talking about going to Harper's Ferry.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fun just going on the journey.
It was like 20 degrees that day.
Yeah, but it was still
fun.
We
never even felt the cold.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun. I really enjoyed that day.
Yeah, I did too. And, there's a lot of history and everything there.
So you live in Maryland and you have a lot of like historical places out there. Like what other kind of cool spots are there to take photos? Because you have a lot of photos of pretty much all around Maryland.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I enjoy most is landscape photography and history. So,
yeah, you're a big history person, aren't you?
Yeah. And, we're right outside of Washington, D.C. and revolutionary time of this country. And there's a lot of good Civil War battlefields and the history of this country. Mm-hmm. I mean, at Harper's Ferry, for example, there was an area where we were standing where Thomas Jefferson actually stood looking down the...
Is that the rock?
Yeah, the big rock there.
Yeah.
I mean, and there you are standing on the same rock. Mm-hmm. And, you got Alexandria, Virginia, and George Washington, and the C&O Canal. And, and when you're taking photographs of that stuff and standing in the same areas where that history occurred, cool. I mean, it just...
kind of hit you a little bit.
Yeah, so it's a lot of, even the history of some old buildings and architecture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, what's the steps in DC that you always talk about that are kind of
the Exorcist steps?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's one of the
Is that like when you're driving on the Parkway? It's off to the left. You can kind of see this.
Oh, the Georgetown. Yeah, that's where they filmed The Exorcist.
Okay. And, you always talk about that spot, and
because
I've never seen it, so I don't.
When you watch the movie, which is really I think is the scariest movie ever made. I saw it when I was a kid, but when it came out, but the priest was thrown out of the window.
Uh-huh.
And went down the steps. But when you stand at the bottom of those steps, they're incredibly high.
Really tall.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There's like 5 stories of old steps.
Oh, wow.
So, and they're old stone steps.
Yeah.
Cut into the stone there. So.
God, that'd be fun. I need to go over there next time.
Yeah. I mean, in Georgetown, it's got a lot of old, late 1700, 1800.
I was a big fan of the. I know it's some simple spot, but I was a big fan of the airport park thing.
Oh yeah.
I was
right there at the end of the National Airport.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I was really jealous of you when you took your 52 photo of that.
Well, I was trying to rack my brain to come up with something different.
Yeah. So when you took that photo, I was like, oh man, I got to get one of those.
Yeah, and we revisited there, and that was fun. So that's what's good about having friendships with people in photography,
right?
Because you can go different places.
So this is one thing I've always had a beef about your photography with.
Yeah.
You don't have your own website.
No.
Why don't you have your own website?
Well, I guess I'm my own worst critic, and I've often thought about it, but I didn't think I was ready to maintain it the way it should be.
So like adding photos and that kind of thing?
Keeping it up to date, and you do incredible on yours, with your blogging.
It's super simple. It's like it takes no time. I don't.
Yeah, because you love what you're doing.
On the portfolio part, it doesn't take any time, but like the blog and stuff, that takes a lot. But
but I mean, that will come. I think.
You think?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Yeah. I mean,
I really want you to.
It's going to just be to showcase my stuff, really.
Yeah. Well, I think every guy that wants to take photos needs to do that.
Yeah. But thank you for encouraging me.
Yeah, I want you to. I've been wanting that for like two years.
Well, I sort of had a bump last year, so.
Yeah.
And this is part of it.
Broken arm, yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to quit.
No. There'll be a time when I'll ask you for some advice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think
we get together.
I think everybody should have their website with that. So
yeah.
I mean, I think it would benefit you too because it's like having your own little space,
Yeah, it's almost like having your own little space where you can relax, right? Mm-hmm. Where you just
then you can do whatever you want to.
Do whatever you want.
You can put crap photos up there if you want to. You can put good photos.
Well, you just don't want to be too repetitive, and I don't feel that I'm as accomplished as you.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Photography-wise.
I wouldn't say that.
Because,
I just don't HDR the crap out of my stuff.
No. The thing is, and you're right about that, when you're learning HDR...
It's fun.
It's fun to learn, but, I mean, when you're first doing it, I think everybody oversaturates and they, you get the highlights that goes around. What do they call the highlights?
Highlights.
Yeah, I mean, just... the fringes is too much, and
you got the whites and the blacks and the highlights. So
I mean, the thing is, the HDR, in my opinion, if you can get it exactly with what you're really seeing, that's what I think is a good HDR photo.
Yeah,
and that's sort of like a dusk photograph or something on a good, brightly lit street, so you can get all the hues, shadows.
Well, it's fun to play with.
It is.
I have no problem with HDR.
No. I know.
I just like giving you a hard time.
No. There was my HDR time where everything was.
Well, I think everybody had an HDR
Well, you were
time.
right next to me, and you go, "I heard that thing click more than once, Mike." So.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, because you're.
Well, me, you, and my dad, and all the rest of the family is going to the beach coming up.
Yeah.
So we're going to have some good photo opportunities there.
Right.
So that'll be fun.
It will be fun. And what I want to do is I want to get more adept at, which I barely touched base on, what you've done really well at, which is astrophotography.
Oh. I want to do more.
Yeah.
But you got to be in the right spot. And then, right outside my door, there's not really that many spots.
No, I know. And that's the one thing about photography. And we're talking about maybe... You were talking about doing your 25-week thing and doing a book or something.
Yeah, and I want to include like one of those because, my top 10 photos that I did of this past year was it had the Milky Way in it, but it was kind of covered up by clouds. But I still had a night shot in there. So I feel like you at least need to have like one night shot.
So maybe if you have a list of topics that you're going to do with the 25, and I don't know if they're all, you take a lot of landscape photography too.
Just I mean
architectural, but one is going to be a night photo. You have time to really research it, right?
Yeah.
And then
I'm not as familiar with the area as you are. With that area.
I mean, we're in North Carolina now, but I mean.
But with the Outer Banks, I mean, you guys have been there so many more times than I have.
But I mean, when I'm reading some books on taking good classes, they suggest some places to go.
Oh, okay.
And to get a really good photograph, you really have to research and go somewhere that's deserted.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Like, maybe a desert somewhere. Or, really get a great photograph in foreground, like some kind of, in Colorado or something like that.
That'd be really good.
I mean, good. You could do all 25 pictures in Colorado.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to go out in Colorado and take photos. That'd be fun.
Landscape photographers, they travel a lot.
One thing I want to do, which me and my dad are going to do for the YouTube channel, is I think we'll probably do it before we all three get together.
Yeah,
is do a versus competition where we all go to the same spot and we take
we go around that spot looking for the better photo. Yeah. And then we all edit the photo differently, how we would edit it, and then we just compare.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be kind of fun to do.
It would be fun.
My dad and I are going to do that at some point.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be good photos, but they'd be different.
It'd be you can see how different people think. So I think that's going to be kind of fun to.
Well, on your blog, you have a lot of people that follow you that are from interesting places.
Yes.
That's from all over the world,
cool.
Right?
It's kind of cool. Yeah. Like when you look at the stats of the people that listen, actually, I have more listeners in. I have more people that listen in more cities in England than I do in the United States. Like I have a lot of listeners in like California or Arizona or Pennsylvania or whatever. But then if you look at by city, I have more cities that listen to over in United Kingdom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's
like Australia.
Australia has a couple. Yeah.
Could you imagine taking astrophotography in Australia? There's a lot of areas
that are
just sort of don't get noise pollution.
Yeah.
Have a lot of nature.
Yeah. I think that'd be so awesome.
Yeah, it would be.
So yeah, I'm happy for all the people that listen.
Wow.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool
to travel to Australia.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun to do that.
Yeah.
We talk about going to New York together. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, and
photo trip there. That'd be fun.
And typically for us, maybe the guy in Australia would love to go to New York City, right? Yeah. And it's not easy for him.
Yeah.
And we could just get on a train
and just go up there
and then go up for a day if we wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, for a weekend, and you could plan. Before I'd go, because it'd be a strictly photography trip, right?
Right.
I'd write down the 10 things I wanted.
Yeah.
And then we'd all put our heads together, right?
Yeah.
And then we
just kind of see where we're going to go.
We're going to go here first, and we're going to go there, then we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And that'd be
fun.
And that'd be fun. You could do that a couple of times a year or something, really, because there's so many places in New York.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, I guess we're gonna call it quits.
Yeah. No.
It was good talking to you.
We talk about photography all the time.
We'll probably do it again.
Just happened the cameras on this.
Well, yeah. What weird.
But
But yeah, we'll probably do it again.
So. But I want to thank you for your blog and stuff. I learned a lot.
Not this. I just do it for fun. It's not.
You're very accomplished. So you help people. It's very simple.
I'm glad I have dozens of followers. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, thanks for talking with me. We'll do it again.
I appreciate it. See you next time.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that interview with Michael. It was just kind of fun to do that. We're actually going. My family and my family, my parents, and my wife's family are all going to the beach on June, like you kind of heard, and I got plans for that as well. I plan on getting my dad in there so we can all talk about photography and just hopefully ramble on for 2 hours or so. so yeah, that'll make it fun. And look for more stuff. Kind of like I was talking about with the Versus Challenge, where we all go to one location, take a photo, and compare how we edit it and take it and all that kind of stuff. So look for that as well. That'll be kind of fun. So for the widget of the week, you can actually, if you are watching me on the YouTube channel, you will actually have already seen it, possibly, if you're checking up there. You'll possibly already seen it, and it's an app for Android and iPhone called Hello Sign. And I made a video on how to use it. I showed you a demo of the kind of scenario that I would use it. But it's basically an app to where you can pull up different documents, and if you're a wedding photographer or if you're just making portrait sessions for people, you can, if you need a model release, because normally you would have your client sign a remodel release, you would normally hand them a piece of paper, they would sign it, and you would fold it up and put it away in your bag, and at some point maybe you get lost or something. But what this app does is allow you to pull up the contract on your phone. And you can type in the name of the model or the subject or whatever. You can type in your business information, and then you can actually have them sign with their finger on the screen, and it inputs it on the contract. And then from there, you can email yourself the contract. You can email your client the copy of the contract. And according to HelloSign, it is completely legally binding, so it's not just some gimmick thing. So that's kind of cool. Again, if you haven't checked the YouTube channel, go ahead and check that out. PictureMonk.com/YouTube. That'll take you to the YouTube channel. You can see the demo there. But it's a really cool app, and hope you guys can check that out there. So hope you guys enjoyed the podcast this week. I know it was a little bit different, and I can't wait for next week to where I can actually have an entire podcast that is audio and video. That's going to be amazing. So thanks guys for joining me for this week. Thank you for rating the podcast. Thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Thank you for checking the website. It really means a lot. I love all the comments and the emails. It's a really cool thing. So thanks guys, and I will see you guys next week.